pleasure to see you.
You ordered this, right?
You take your money. I don't want your filthy money.
Take the money.
No, you take. Hey. Give me that.
Yes, that's what I meant.
It's my coke guy and his girlfriend. My sister. It's his sister.
No, you take. Hey. Give me those eggs down. I want your eggs. Put the eggs down.
She said she'd help with my student.
We're not. We're the Bayside acapella group. But,
Ooh, baby, I love you.
I think you can say something that'll get me to forgive you.
Look at that. The moron's got a friend. Not for nothing, but First Lady Nancy Reagan says just say no.
That was so cool. I was not expecting that at all.
Right?
You made a little edit. I love that. Thank you.
Thank you. I did it. I don't know. I wanted something special because now I have all these opportunities to do these weird videos. Now that I'm all with computer compared to last time, and so I said I gotta go all in, all out, all in or out, both of them, in and out. I got to go in and out.
Yeah, I can use both. Yeah.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm great. It's good to see you. It's been a minute since I've seen you. I don't think I've seen you in person since you graduated.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember if maybe a showcase after you.
No, I don't think so. I didn't go to AMDA. I only went to print stuff. And so I went and came back out.
2024.
Yeah, so it's been a year since I saw your face, or more than a year. But how have you been? You're still teaching there, right?
Yeah, I'm still teaching at AMDA, and it's great because if I need to film something, I just tell them and I get a sub, or if I just work it out. I think right after you graduated, I booked a movie that I was gonna be out of the country for 6 weeks. So
right, you told us about that.
Yeah, so I just let them know, and they're like, it's fine. And luckily, they were able to find a class that starts later in the semester, so that when I was done filming and I came back, they're like, we have a class for you to teach that starts later on. And so I was able to still work as soon as I came back into the country after filming. So
did you end up filming it?
Sorry?
Did you end up doing that?
Yeah, I filmed it. I was out in Bulgaria for 6
Oh, but
weeks.
it's still in post-production?
I guess they're in the editing process. The last time the director talked to me, they were working on sound stuff. But yeah, it's probably really close to being done around this time. So.
Wow. Okay, but it's secret, right?
It's not that secret. No, I mean, obviously I won't share everything, but
right.
It's a Luc Besson film. Luc Besson, he wrote and is a creator of Taken and Fifth Element, Leon the Professional. Currently, he has a movie called Dracula in theaters right now. So he was one of the writers for this movie, and it was a French production because he's from France, and it was really great to work on that. And so I filmed that for 6 weeks in Bulgaria. It was a blast. I got to work with a really great cast, and then yeah, it was a good time. That was awesome, and I got to be in a different country and get paid for it. There was one time. While I was out there, I had 5 days. I was filming practically every day, but there was luckily 1 week where I had 5 days no filming back to back. So I just rented a car and drove to Greece because it was 3 hours. And I was like, let me just see Greece. I'm in Bulgaria. Yeah. I might as well check out something that's nearby. And Greece is somewhere I've always wanted to visit. So it was awesome. It was a great experience filming that movie.
And knowing you partied a lot, right?
What do you mean knowing me? I don't party.
I don't know. People talk around.
So it was a very heavily male cast because it takes place in a correctional facility, almost like a prison kind of thing. And so there was one girl in the cast, and the rest of them were men, and mostly or male identifying. And so what happened is the boys and I just sometimes we go out. We had
yeah. There's no shame in that.
Yeah, we had Fridays and Saturdays off. So in the weekends we'd go, and the hotel we were staying at had these clubs and bars inside of them. So we're like, let's go. And
yeah, of course.
You didn't. Actually, I learned a lot.
You didn't post so much on your on your Instagram about that experience, or was
I
I?
kind of, like, I have everything just in my photo albums ready to post once it comes
Oh,
out.
okay.
So
Right.
that's the one where I have to shave my head completely, which is crazy.
Right. Oh, that happened in between me graduating and now. You shave your head in that time, during that time, right? I thought
It
you,
was
like, I had in my brain that you had your head shaven like on while you were teaching.
no, no, no,
Shaven.
no. Yeah, I'll
No?
never have my head shaved.
Then that was then because you, okay, I am going all over the place, but I have, because you started also doing like some kick streams or Rumble or something like that.
I was streaming. Yeah, I was doing Twitch.
Twitch, Twitch.
I haven't done it since like I think the end of December. I'm just taking a little
Mhm.
break from it because it can take up a lot, and there's a lot of like goals I'm trying to do on my own right now. So in my own personal life, and so I'm taking a little break from it. But yeah, I was Twitch streaming a lot. Yeah, back then.
Right. And how did that go? Like,
It went
I
well.
yeah, I
I
saw.
did all sorts of things. I did sometimes I would just it was just something for me to do for fun.
Okay, okay.
Like I would play video games and people would watch. I would invite friends over. I'd have my friends play like instruments or sing or whatever.
Yeah,
Sometimes we'd go out somewhere like an escape room and I would record down the stream. So it was a blast. Yeah, absolutely.
that's fun. But you didn't.
I'll probably go back to doing it.
You're not like doing it as a like trying to make it a profession or like a second.
You know, it would be a nice profession. Like let's say for some reason teaching like I don't know, teaching isn't working out or I'm not getting hours or anything like that. I was making decently some good pay from it, surprisingly. But and it would be a nice like day job, like if I was only doing that, if I had a ton of followers that were consistently subscribing to me, like consistently, I would probably do it as a consistent job. But the one thing about it is, there are times where it starts to feel a little invasive, and this is good to talk about too, because like as actors, eventually we get to a point where all actors get to a point where they start having fans and people following and paying attention and stuff, and it got a little invasive to like my private life sometimes, where some people felt entitled to my private life, and
Wow.
I really tried to
Random
separate.
people.
Yeah, people who would follow and find my
Right.
stream, and they would try to message me in all sorts of places, and I tried to put like a rule, like I really didn't talk to many people or accept a lot of like DMs or anything like that, like. But some people really felt entitled to it, or people would ask me questions about my friends that came in their private life, and it's a weird balance. So it's an interesting life, and I'm thinking about like, okay, let's say I'm one of those actors that blows up and doesn't have a private life anymore. How will I handle that? It's very interesting,
Yeah.
parasocial relationships and stuff. But that's kind of where I was like, I don't know if I want that. If I want that consistently, if it was my full-time job, do I want people to have access to me all the time? I don't know. It's interesting.
And because it's really important as actors in this new like era of like Instagram, social media, all that, like to be aware, because it's hard to find the balance between being stoic and kind of like detached from like a Brad Pitt is, you never know what they're doing in like in their life,
Right.
but also promoting yourself through these new sources, right?
Yeah, and there's this pressure of like having a certain amount of followers so that you get cast in things or
Right.
whatever, But I don't know if I want to be that type of actor. I don't know if I want to be that type of actor and there's nothing wrong with that, But I don't think that's the goal I want. I think I just want to be able to get paid while acting, do good work while acting, and I don't know if I want my life to be like overtaken by influence kind of stuff or social media stuff. I don't have like a brand. I just kind of like do whatever I want. I post whatever I want, and I don't like the weird pressure of I don't know, some kind of social media presence. You know what I mean?
Because so you're more like you want to be more old school in your approach, right?
I don't know.
I mean, it worked. It used to work. Like Tom Cruise is the biggest actor ever, and he's not doing
Right.
a day in my life. Like, get ready with me.
Yeah. But I like for example like what Jack Black does. Sometimes he'll post some really funny videos that he like filmed
Yeah.
and did stuff with, but I don't know. I think I just don't want any expectation. I think I just want to post what I want to post, live my life the way I want to live my life without any expectations, without any pressure. So it's like a hybrid. It's like a mix of old school and new
Yeah.
school, you know. But I don't know. Some
That's
people are
good.
like, I gotta make content, and I'm just like, I don't have any ideas for content, and then I'll have an idea and I'll make it, but I don't want to be pressured to continue making content. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah, because sometimes you like I apply to this podcast. Like I don't want to set like a scheduled. Okay, every Sunday I'm going to post. Like I'm going to go live because this is not live right now, but I want to go live at some point, and I don't want to put a schedule that's going to then restrict me in other stuff. You know.
It's hard. It becomes like a job. It becomes a really
Yeah.
risky-
Right.
And some people
Which-
do that. Some people make this
Right.
time,
Yeah.
you know.
Great. I wanted to ask you because you're my first guest that's in the union.
Okay.
So because I know or I've heard that union, like in the union, they limit like the amount of hours you can be on screen time, like have screen like screen appearances. Like for example, does this like what we're doing right now? Is this because this is not union? Of course, my little podcast yet is not union, but how does that work? Like, do they restrict you in certain ways?
So this isn't necessarily me doing a job as an actor. This is me doing me. You know. So
Right.
for example, have you heard of the app Cameo?
Yeah.
So like those are actors or celebrities in general or whatever that just make videos and they make money off of it or whatever, but it's not them acting. If it was like a short film or if it was like a feature film that was non-union, it kind of isn't. I shouldn't be doing those.
Right.
basically.
Right. Yeah.
If I were to do a short film or a feature film, it should be a union project that is, you know, with SAG. But this is just me being me. So there's
Right.
nothing
It's
wrong
like
with doing this podcast.
yourself. Esteban as himself.
Exactly. It's just like
Yeah.
I mean, like there's nothing union about like when they go on Jimmy Fallon. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
at
Okay.
least I don't
Gotcha.
think so. I
Yeah.
don't think so,
Sure.
but yeah.
No, I don't know why I had that like question in my brain. Like, imagine one day I invite, who knows, like, insert famous A-lister actor
Right.
to my podcast once it, I don't know, gets to that point. Like, are they gonna say, "Oh no, I'm a union" or something like?
No, if they do, they're just BS.
Yeah, they're just messing with me, and they don't want to just. I
don't
should
wanna-
take that as a okay, no, yeah.
exactly. If anything, they're just ignoring this opportunity. But
But let's not worry about that yet.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I had when I prepared for this show, because I try to be as prepared as I can. I try at least. I saw that you have gone on already a few in like last year around this time you went on another type of podcast interview.
Oh wow, yeah.
From my research at least.
Okay.
Yeah, and you talked about like a lot of stuff like Suits, of course, because if people weren't aware that introduction video included a lot of your appearances in different shows.
Movies and stuff.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, I want to ask him things that this other guy wouldn't think to ask, like really specific things that are like not like the obvious, like, oh, who's your favorite character that you played or whatever. Like that sounds like really obvious, but I genuinely want to know like stuff about you, and because because in that interview you didn't talk about like AMDA, I think, or like
No, I don't think I
teaching,
did much. I think you're right.
or your time at AMDA, like because you. And I think you've never talked to me about this, and I'm really interested in knowing, like, because you came to AMDA from as an international student, right, to New York.
No, no. So I
No?
am an immigrant. I am an immigrant in the United States, but I moved to the United States when I was about 5 years old.
Oh, okay,
And my family moved out here when I was about 5 years old.
right.
And I moved to South Florida. And I
Yeah.
was there all my adolescence from 5 years old until 18 when I went to AMDA. I went to AMDA 3 weeks right after I graduated high school to New York.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I still didn't have my citizenship though. We were under.
Oh, that was it. Okay, then. Okay.
Yeah, I was there for a work visa for a long time, and then eventually I got my green card and residence. When I was like a junior in high school. Then eventually, finally, I got my citizenship in 2019, right before COVID. Thank goodness. But yeah, so it took a while to get my actual citizenship. But in fact, I had graduated AMDA by the time I was still a green card holder when I was still at AMDA. It wasn't until after I graduated AMDA that I got my citizenship. So. It's kind of crazy how long I've lived in America, and it took that long. It's a very hard process, and I'm sure you know that as because you're going through that all the time as well, and a lot of.
Well, not anymore.
Are you back in Chile like full time?
Yeah, for the foreseeable future,
Okay, cool, awesome.
because my OPT ended, but one day I want to go back. I mean, it's not a question. Like one day I'll be back. I'm going to study business now.
Cool.
Here, I think that may be because acting jobs are so rare and tough to get, and I feel like if in my brain, if I get a business degree, then I apply for a job with that business degree, like a business job, there will be, and then when I do all the process, I'll be able to keep auditioning, and go back to what I originally.
It's not a bad plan at all. It's not. It's just
Gonna take a while, but.
The one thing I wish, if I had power, in this country at all, the first thing I want to do, one of the first things I want to do, because immigration is a very passionate topic for me.
Okay.
But one of the first things I want to do is I think it's so unfair that an OPT and O1 visas, for those of you who don't know what that is, it's just like the visa that people who are coming to this country have to apply for.
Yeah, I think I've never explained it, and I've talked about it so much on this podcast, but I've never explained what it is.
Have you talked about? Oh, you've talked about it, but you haven't explained it yet. Yeah,
Right.
It's a very specific process, and you have to apply for it, and you essentially have to prove to America that you're worthy of staying here and that you are excellent and you are outstanding in your career field. Now, what that means is by the time you do your O1 visa, you cannot work any jobs outside of what your visa is specific towards. So if you're an actor, you can't do any other job outside of acting with your O1 visa. That includes Uber driving, that includes Postmates, that includes working at CVS, that includes nannying, that includes working at a restaurant. So I think the first thing I'd do if I ever had any power is be like, yo, you guys don't understand how hard it is to get a job in this business. You could get one job and still they might not be like, it's not enough. You're not exceptional in your career field. What? Like you could literally have one role in a TV show.
Compared to another field that it's I don't know, like I said, business, that there are so many jobs and it's not like.
Exactly. I think it's so unfair. I think that people who are doing their one visa should be able to pursue that, but also have like a part-time job, like working at a restaurant or something. I just don't I find it so unfair because as an actor, you audition, hope to get the job, and then that job ends eventually, usually, unless you're a series regular. Even if I film my movie 6 weeks, I didn't even film that in America. I filmed that in Bulgaria. And it's just how can you make money for food, for rent, all that stuff while auditioning for acting jobs? And unless you blow up the first year you're here, it's very difficult. It's very unfair. Most immigrants who are trying to do that visa have to depend on their parents' money or savings that they've made, and it's just really unfair. And one of the things I'm very passionate about is like I want to make sure that people who are trying to do that visa get a chance to at least do a part-time job while they pursue this incredibly difficult career that is not something you can just apply for and be like, all right, I got the job, I have the credentials. You know, you have to be perfect for a certain role every time. So
Yeah. At least for these like really specific jobs like acting, I feel like that might be a good, like, how do you say, like okay, give and take. I don't know, like, okay, just for actors.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's a freelance job. It's
Right,
not like
right.
it's not
Any
corporate, it's
freelance.
freelance, you know. So
Yeah.
any free music, all that stuff. So yeah, that's just how I feel about that. But anyways, yeah. So AMDA,
Yeah.
I immigrated to the United States, grew up in South Florida, went to New York, and then funny enough, I was a musical theater major. I wasn't an
Right,
actor.
you told us. Yeah.
Yeah, and I loved it, but the roles that they kept giving me were like for 30 or 40-year-olds. And I'm like, and at the time, especially, I was, 18, 19, I had such a baby face. Like it was, even when I shave, I still have a baby face sometimes. And I look like younger 20s. But I was like, I don't want to wait that long for me to work. Because at least at the time, musical theater had very specific roles for every show. There weren't many roles for me. It was very limited. And I didn't want to do that. And I realized TV and film kind of has every type of person of every type of age, especially commercials too. So I was like, let me go ahead, continue my bachelor's in Los Angeles, learn camera acting, because we had like one small camera class as musical theater students in New York. But I was like, let me switch to an acting major. It was just kind of like a pivot of strategy. That's all it was. It was strategy of Los Angeles. There's three things I wanted to get when I came out to Los Angeles. Film acting, training. I heard that there was when you're the BFA, the 8th semesters, they get a performance where they get to perform in front of agents, managers, and casting directors. So I wanted to get one of them out here. And the other thing was I just wanted to like make connections in Los Angeles because I had friends that and this has happened before, like last year. Was it last year? No, I guess it was 2 years ago. I remember you auditioned for the same role. I auditioned.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I auditioned for the Stranger Things Broadway show, and I got a callback, and I had to fly out to New York to do the callback. So when I did that, I had friends that I knew from when I was in New York that I could just crash at their place, and they let me. So I kind of wanted that connection in Los Angeles as well, and I got my connection. I have all my close friends out here, and even my industry network that I've made out here as well. So those are the three reasons why I came out to Los Angeles from the New York campus. It was just like a strategy of I want to work today. I'm always down to do musical theater. Like if I get an audition for musical theater that's right for me, and yeah, I'll do it. I'll audition for it. But I definitely have gravitated towards more TV and film, and I love it. It's I don't know. I'm a big geek when it comes to filmmaking and TV and stuff. So.
But originally you went into because you wanted to be a musical theater actor. Then.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think in high school I just thought like, oh, I can sing, I can dance, and I can act. Why not do musical theater? But I think that doesn't mean just if you can do all those things doesn't mean you have to do musical theater.
But that was the thing you gravitated more like towards stage.
Yeah, that's all I knew. I never really did a lot of filming in high school, so I didn't know that's why I liked. In fact, when I was a musical theater major, I think most of my classmates were actually kind of, they made like jokes like, okay, actor, like they kind of started to realize like that I was stronger when we did our acting classes. Like I was fine, I could sing and stuff like that and dance and all that, just great. But I think they realized that I had a little bit of a difference when it came to my acting skills compared to the class, I think, so it was kind of always going to happen in some way or shape or form.
Yeah. I feel like if I were to go to LA, I have so many people that I can like contact instead of getting a hotel, like for vacation. Like I don't know, like so I get what you mean. Like and in New York too, although a little bit less. I don't know. New York people were much different than LA people.
Yeah, there is such a difference of behavior. I know that
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, and it's always so crowded in New York in general. Like everyone needs their space. In LA too, but I feel like there's more space, but
Yeah,
um
I love it though. I don't know. I wish I lived in New York.
really?
This is where my career is. I feel strongest. My career is better in Los Angeles, but if I had a choice, I'd have a place out there as well, and I just kind of would rotate. I've even like flirted with the idea of like, what if I go teach in the New York campus for like 15 weeks for like one semester, and I'm out living in New York, and then the other 2 semesters I'm out in Los Angeles. You know, so
Ooh, why haven't you done that?
I think the thought is, where am I going to stay? You know, because maybe I'd have to find someone to like pay and stay at my place.
What
I
about-
have all this stuff here? And
Yeah.
I get a little nervous with that, you know. So.
Or what about a friend to like crash in?
No, I have friends that could definitely. I mean, 15 weeks though is a long time. So
Yeah, true.
You know, so like I would feel bad. I have friends that let me stay in their place for free for like a whole week. But if I
Yeah.
went for 15 weeks, I would.
But after a few days, it starts getting like a friend of my family says, like I remember when I was young, I invited two people to the beach, like to the beach house that we rented, and for 2 weeks, and I'm an only child, so I never invited anyone over in general, and like even more so to sleep. And a friend of my family said something that I will never forget, which is like starts getting stinky after everything, like the relationship, it starts getting really tense. And
Yeah.
I wish I listened to him.
Yeah, a little regret, a little bit there and here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's I love New York. I think there's so much to do out there. It's a wonderful city. I love the style of acting out there. You know, people are really, really passionate about acting out there to an extent that I really miss. You know, but I don't know. It's a tricky thing. You know, trying to live your life. I don't know. I wish I was bicoastal. That's a goal I would love to do. If I become,
I wish I was worldwide personally.
Yeah, Mr. Worldwide. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And because did you see because it's been a year since Stranger Things: The First Shadow has been on Broadway, and they changed the cast now.
Yeah. One of my
And they announced a new cast, and I was like, I wish I was there. Like I wish, because the new guy looks like a blend between us. I feel like right in the middle. They chose for that character.
When I went to that callback for the audition, I was in the room, just in the waiting room for a long time, and I looked around me and I was like, these are actual children here. Like they showed up to the audition with their parents.
Wow.
And here I am, a full adult, you know, and
Yeah.
in my later 20s when I auditioned for it and stuff like that, and it's just like, I was like, I may look young, but compared to actual kids auditioning for the other roles, like my sister role or like my friends, it would just look kind of crazy for me to be next to them, I think. So I think that's
Yeah. Did you at least shave for the audition?
Yeah, of course. I looked young. I'll pull up the picture. I looked really young. It's just,
No. Yeah.
you can tell the energy. Like even because when I first graduated AMDA, I was doing so many high school roles. You know, like you saw from Suits. I was a high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the older I've gotten, it's not necessarily more about the looks. It's more about like my vibe. I have a really hard time. I know I'm an actor. That's my job to act. But I have a really hard time feeling young, you know, and acting super young because I've experienced a lot of hardships in life of going through adult life, and I just think my maturity's at a different pace now. That those are just not roles that I believe myself to be in anymore. I don't believe that I fit. I believe like young 20s, like college. but
But not a high school student, yeah,
no, I'm not a high school student, like
or whatever that role was, middle school, I think. Yeah. No.
Yeah, so, but it was definitely a shock looking around the room and being like, wow, I came here by myself. I flew across the country by myself.
Wow. Yeah.
I flew across the country by myself, and these people had to come here with their parents and all that, and which is good for them. They have someone who was supportive enough to bring them, but like.
But they probably live around the area, right? Like they didn't fly across the country. Who knows, actually?
Yeah, some of them. I think there was one kid I met that flew up from Florida, but it's just like they came out there with their parents, and their
And
parents
he probably didn't have the, how do you say, like the hours, like so many time difference, so he was better rested than you, so he excelled better in the audition.
Exactly.
I think, yeah.
It was crazy, and I just seeing that, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get cast in something that is looking around who's also, because that's the one thing. I could be the best actor in the world, but if the cast doesn't, if they're also looking at more people of the cast and I don't fit in that mold, they're gonna be like, oh, they're a great actor, but we have to find someone that actually fits the chemistry of everyone else. And that's the tricky part about this business. I might be really, really good for a role, but if it doesn't fit with the rest of the vibe of the rest of the cast, you know what I mean? So it's a very interesting business.
Yeah, I want to say, like, because that role is the young version of the Sean Austin's character. Yeah. The guy they picked for the second year, he doesn't look like Sean Austin. We look more like Sean Austin than this new kid.
Yeah,
Let me look him up.
They actually picked a lot of Latinos for that role. Have you
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I was like why?
That's not the character from the TV show at all. He's pretty
exactly, yeah.
But I guess creative liberties or whatever it may be. It's a weird thing.
But every other character looks actor looks exactly like their adult version, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm still haven't processed the rejection about that. How do you process rejection? Do you have any tips?
I've been doing this. It's gonna be 9 years. I've been professionally auditioning this shoot, and it's crazy to think how fast it's gone. And the one thing I've had in mind is this: I do an audition and I immediately try to forget about it. I don't even think about it. I just let it go, because two things happen when I do that. If I hear news back that I'm like, I got a call back, or I got pinned for the role, or they want to offer me the role, it's a nice surprise. It's like, oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. But if I don't, I forgot about it. I just quickly move on. I don't wait for no more emails. I don't want to know. Sometimes I've actually talked to my reps before. I'm like, I don't even want to know if I got pinned. Because it got to a point where, do you know what pin means? I told you that, right?
Yeah, you taught us about that, actually. You were the one who taught me about it.
So if I could teach it, I'll be a teacher on your podcast real quick.
Okay, amazing.
So for those who don't know what a pin is in acting, there was a time back in the day, I never witnessed this, but there was a time back in the day before everything was so digital, people used to bring in their hard copy headshots, their pictures and resumes to auditions. And what they would do is, if they're trying to pick who is going to be the cast, they would have a top 2 or top 3 for each role, and they would literally pin the picture on like a cork board that they would look at, and they'd be like, how does this person look next to that person, and that kind of stuff. But you'd only get up on that board if you're one of like the top 2 or 3 of the character, one of the top choices. So when I graduated, I actually didn't know that. I was like, what does this mean? One time an agent emailed me saying, hey, you're on a veil. And a veil is the same concept of pin, except for commercials. I was like, yeah, I'm available. But so there got to a weird point in my career where it's a blessing, but also a little bit of a curse sometimes, where I got pinned a lot, where people were like, you're one of the top choices, but then I wouldn't even get it. Or sometimes I would get pinned, and it'd be like off of my first audition, my self tape, and I'd be like, oh, they liked me that much for my first audition. Great, can't wait to hear more. And I wouldn't even get a call back. I wouldn't get like a chemistry read. I wouldn't get a director session. I wouldn't even get a second appointment. And they would just go ahead and cast someone else. And I'm like, why did you even make me one of your top 2 or 3 choices if you didn't want to see me again? And, you know, a lot of it became to the factor of like, you know, maybe those people had more experience or a little more famous. Like one time I auditioned for like this George Clooney film. And I got pinned off of my initial self tape. No callback, nothing. The person that I'm casting is someone who, like, he's on the Penguin, or is that what's called the show? Yeah, the Penguin, right? The Batman spin-off show.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the main characters in the Penguin. He was a main character in a Marvel TV show. So like the actor that they cast had already been so well known, and I wasn't as well known, you know. So I think it's almost like they pinned me as someone who wasn't well known in the industry. And if maybe that person was busy, they would have given me a callback or cast me. But that person wasn't busy. They cast it to the person who's well known. You know, I don't know. It's a very interesting business. And it got to a point where I got so frustrated hearing the term, you're pinned, you're pinned, you're pinned. You're one of the top choices. Casting really likes you. And then I wouldn't get a callback. Then I wouldn't get another email after that. You know, and I got exhausted of hearing you're pinned, even though it's like the cast director likes you. But in my head, I was like, okay, they don't like me enough.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So it got to a point where I
I'm
was
not
like,
enough.
yeah, you do start thinking that way, you know?
Yeah.
And when I got those emails, especially even till now, whenever I get an email that says you're pinned, I'm like, cool. But I don't take it to heart. I don't get excited about it. In fact, I've made 2 major rules for myself. The first one is don't celebrate the paycheck until you're on set, and don't celebrate the press until you've seen it posted by other people. You know, I was on the show Hacks, which is like a Emmy-winning, Golden Globe-winning TV show right now, and I filmed in season 1, and unfortunately they had to cut my scene. Luckily, I didn't post telling people, "Hey, everybody, watch this." But funny enough, another friend of mine I do know posted about it. They're like, "I'm gonna be on this show, guys. I filmed an episode," and then boom. Unfortunately, they were cut, and they didn't. And they've already told everyone. They've already celebrated that they're gonna be on the show, and that was a major thing I learned was don't celebrate the press unless you've seen the episode and you know you're in it. Or until
Major L.
Yeah, or like deadline. Yeah, major L, exactly. That's a major L. But you know, so that's my rule. I don't celebrate the paycheck, and because I've signed contracts. Like there have been times I've signed full-on contracts that you're cast. We're gonna be filming in a few weeks. Here are the dates. Sign the contract. You're cast. And they even posted me on the IMDb and everything. And then that movie, things happened, and it went to Hollywood Graveyard, and it never ended up coming up, that movie that I was going to be one of the lead roles for, and I signed the contract and everything, and I knew how much I was going to be making. Never got the paycheck, never got to film it. If I had been posting about it like crazy, like, I'm going to be making this money, I'm going to be in this movie, and then that movie just ended up not working out, and then falling short, then I would have looked kind of dumb in front of everyone, you know what I mean? So,
oh yeah,
that's why I don't celebrate until I'm on set for the money, and I don't even tell everyone I'm in this movie, guys. You know,
yeah.
So those are kind of my rules, and then also like I mentioned before about rejection. You know, I just kind of look at the end of the day, you gotta be yourself, and you gotta be happy in your own life, and that's already a struggle. Trying to be happy in your life. You know, people fight anxiety, people fight depression all the time, and I've definitely had my battles against that stuff, but. I think I've realized I need to have goals for my personal life and not make my film life my only life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think that's why those are the few things I kind of gravitate towards when it comes to dealing with rejection or not finding success all the time. You know what I mean?
It's so tough though.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's easier said than done.
Absolutely. and that's why it actually is a fight. It's really a fight. I was not in the best headspace in the end of last year, November, December. I was kind of really down, even a lot of January. It's very recent, and I think it started to show. I'm not even gonna lie. I think it showed a little bit in my teaching. I don't think I gave my best. I tried, but I was going through a lot, and recently in the past semester, and when it came to my own self-worth, and this year I'm forcing myself to love myself. I have to. So I've made a bunch of goals, every month I'm reading a book. Every month I'm making a goal to do an event. In January I went to a hockey event. I'm going to Vegas pretty soon. I'm making sure I'm just trying to do even weird things that I've never experienced or tried. Apparently in Los Angeles you can go watch horse races for $20. Sure, I'll go.
Can you bet on it?
You can bet on it too. Yeah, exactly. So I'm it's not something that's me. That's not something I do, but I think I want to experience new experiences. I want to try, doing new things, and just maybe there's some things I do like that I didn't know I liked. You know what I mean? So I think the best way to get out of things is literally forcing yourself, challenging yourself to do something, goals of some sort. You know what I mean? So that's currently what I'm doing, because I have no control of the business right now. It's a really weird place, the business. So I'm not going to wait for auditions. If they come, great. I'm going to do my best at them. But I'm going to live my life. I'm going to have a good time doing it too,
You also have a lot that you can, you have teaching, first of all. You have, it's not like you have acting and just going out.
Yeah, exactly. That wouldn't be...
Right.
I got a lot of things I'm trying to do, and if it was just...
And if you had free time, if you were bored, you have the streaming thing.
Yeah, exactly. If I wanted to do that, for sure. Yeah. So that's why I think it's also important to have the right people around you, your family, your friends, that kind of stuff. So that's what I've been working on and focusing on more, because acting will come when it comes. You can't force it. You can't force it.
Are you actively seeking out auditions and stuff like that? Or not
agents
as much?
And managers are the ones that do that. It's a weird business right now after the strike. I mean, it's weird. Last year was a very good year for me, And what I mean by last year, I'm talking about November 2024 to November 2025.
Right as I left your life.
Yeah, it was life got great. I felt so. I didn't get to tell your class this because I told your class about the Bulgaria thing, but. Halloween Day, I get an email saying you booked a movie. But in my head, I'm like, wait, I'm about to leave for Bulgaria. So it's Halloween Day, October 31st. I think Bulgaria was November 5th. That's when I was going to fly out there, November 5th. And I'm like, what movie did I book? I'm about to fly out of the country for 6 weeks.
Wow.
My agent's there's a movie that they want you to film tomorrow, which was a Friday, and Monday. So 2 days of filming, Friday and Monday, and Tuesday you'll fly out to Bulgaria. I'm like, that's kind of crazy. And so my manager even told them, are you sure you want to cast Esteban? Because he's going to fly out of the country for 6 weeks. So if there's any, if anything happens where they have to push a day back, he might not be able to do it. They're like, yeah, we love him. We want him. I'm like, great. All right. And I'm always stressed because I'm thinking about packing for 6 weeks.
Right.
So I'm like, all I was already in my mind. The only thing I was focusing on was the movie I was going to film for 6 weeks. But then this other movie came up. And it's funny, when I auditioned for this movie, I knew I was going to book it. I was like,
wow.
I feel like I'm going to book this one. But I didn't hear from them for a whole month. So I thought I didn't book it. I was like, I guess I didn't book it. But then I did. So anyways, this movie I filmed on a Friday. It's one of the best days of my life. I got to work with Courtney B. Vance. He's married to Angela Bassett. He's won an Emmy. He's gotten Tonys. He's worked with James Earl Jones.
Angela Bassett is a lesbian?
Courtney B. Vance is a man.
Oh. Okay.
I know. It's one of those gender neutral names.
Yeah.
Courtney B. Vance is one of the he is such an incredible actor. He's done a lot of things and he's won a lot of awards and he's well known as like an actor's actor. He's not one of those actors who's like an A-lister. Like not everyone knows who he is by name, but he's an incredible actor. He's one of the best. And I got to work with him and Marseille Martin, who she was the youngest daughter in the Blackish show. You know, Blackish, all those Mixed-ish. They have a couple of different spin-offs. And she was the youngest daughter. Now she's older. And she was doing this movie with Courtney B. Vance.
Oh, wait. What's her name?
Marseille Martin.
I don't know how to spell that, but it's okay.
Wait, her first name or her last name? Both.
No, Martin, right?
Marseille. Marsai. Marsai.
But the last thing you said Martin. Oh, oh, thank God for autocorrect. Okay. Marseille. Oh, I've never heard of her. I've never seen her. She looks like Tessa Thompson.
Yeah, no, she's super talented. And now she's like, it's weird because everyone knew her when she was a child actor, but now she's like an adult and she's so successful. But I got to work with them in a couple scenes, and it was a blast. I was just kind of like, it was crazy too because I was literally told that I was going to film this the day before.
Right.
And so you have to stay on your toes in this business because you're like, oh no. If you were someone who stresses a lot under the pressure of like, I have to film tomorrow, where are my lines? I didn't get my lines until like 9 p.m. that night. I didn't get my sides until then. I was like, oh my God. So I had to memorize everything that night and then film the next morning. And it got to a point where we were just like riffing off of each other. And this guy, who I look up to, who is a great actor, who's married to Angela Bassett, has won Emmys and Tonys, he goes, you are amazing. I want to work with you all the time. And I was like,
me?
You know? And
wow.
It was such a great compliment. Filming with him made me realize it doesn't matter if I don't book anything for the next 5 years. I am meant to be doing this. Because to be able to go up with him and impress him, because I know who he is. And let me tell you, I saw how he was kind of like putting up a wall with the other actors that were filming with us. Like I saw it happen. You know, he's famous. You know, people know him, and people like try to like. There's some people who on set sometimes like try to, I don't know,
weasel their way in.
Exactly. Yeah, network in a weaseling kind of way, and he was not having it. But he was very comfortable with me. In fact, when we finished filming, you know, at the end of the filming, one of the PAs, they go, all right, that's a wrap on Esteban, and everyone applauds and you say bye. I turn around when they said that, and I see Courtney B. Vance taking pictures of me. I'm like, sir, do you know who you are? Why are you taking pictures of me?
Wow.
You young man. And so we got pictures and everything, and he was like, he called the director, he called Marseille over, and we took pictures together. He had such a great time filming with me, you know, and it was a moment where I realized this is a hard business, but that right there is proof that I'm meant to be doing this, no matter how hard it is. It's not easy, and I just need to keep going. And then the very next day, I went and filmed the movie in Bulgaria. You know, it was so there was those two movies. I filmed Chad Powers, an episode of Glenn Powell. I filmed a commercial
with Peter, right?
With Peter, oh yeah, he told you.
Yeah.
Peter is another student I had with Aldo, and he was on set when I filmed my.
I don't know if you've seen like the podcast, but like we talk about you a lot on the other podcasts.
I didn't see the one
with
Peter.
Paulina, Baklava.
Really?
With Peter, with Mariana.
That's so sweet. You don't have to do that.
You're like a presence that's like always there.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I didn't realize
because they remember a lot of stuff you taught them, you know?
Yeah. Well, let AMDA know.
Yeah, okay.
Let AMDA know that you guys enjoy my teaching. I'll get more hours that way. But
yeah.
But you know, it was so cool seeing Peter, one of my students. Like he was working background, and I got to be there, you know, filming with Chad, you know, with Glenn Powell and lines and stuff, and it was very nice to have that because I'll tell you this. I've been on some sets where I felt very alone because I knew no one there. And for me to be there with Peter was very nice. You know, I didn't care if I had a trailer. I went and hung out with him in the background area because I'm like, I know you. Let's hang out. Let's talk. You know.
Couldn't you invite him to the trailer, or that's like illegal?
No, it's not like illegal, but like I don't think
it's your trailer. You have to have your space at least.
I think the thing is, they're so they're so on a schedule and they have to follow when they're called.
Yeah.
So they had to be in a certain place without getting lost. Because if they got lost,
yeah, true.
They're not called, then they're like, "Where is this actor? You know, we need this background." You know, so I didn't want him to get in trouble, so I kind of just hung out with him.
Oh, that's nice.
But so it was a lot of fun that day. I booked that. Within the week, I booked a Chick-fil-A commercial, which is airing right now, and it's helping me pay my bills, thank goodness. And then later on, I booked a Criminal Minds episode that's going to be coming out this year. And then this past October, I was lucky enough, the people I worked with in Bulgaria, they asked me back for another movie that they were filming. So they flew me to France, and I got to film a movie, and I got to do a scene with Aldo.
Oh, yeah, I saw that you went to France.
But that was for work. Right? But I made it look like I'm there for vacation, don't I?
Yeah.
One thing about me is
you did some like videos. You were like, I don't know, I don't understand TikToks, but you did some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was eating the food. I was out there for work. And one thing about me is this: I don't have the liberty. Growing up, even I don't have the liberty to just fly around the world and visit places all the time. I'd love to, but I don't. But when I get paid to, I am using my opportunity.
Of course, 100%.
Yeah, there's some actors who don't. They're like scared to go out and visit. And that's why like I'm the type of guy that rents a car and drive 3 hours to Greece and stay there for 3 nights and then come back. And,
take advantage of every minute of your life.
Yeah, seriously. Like I have friends.
Try Dubai Pistachio. At Greece Greece is not Dubai, but like it's pretty close.
When I was in Italy, Italy was vacation with family, but the pistachio was everywhere. They had
it's like a new trend or something. I had to get it today.
McDonald's in Italy has pistachio McFlurries, and I'm telling you,
wow,
like, that's flavor. Anyways, if I'm gonna be filming in Canada, Bulgaria, France, I'm gonna visit that country when I'm not filming. Like that is why I'm gonna make a vacation out of it while I'm there for work. And that's the thing. I'm always prepared on my lines.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I'm always careful. I mean, there was a moment in Greece which was kind of scary. When I drove to Greece, I went to like Mount Olympus. My tire popped.
Wait, that's a real place?
Yeah. It's like I saw the mountain that they believe the gods are in.
Right. Wow, I thought it was like fiction.
No, it's real. It's so real. And I saw it. But when I was there, my first day in Greece, one of my tires popped. And I'm like, oh no, I don't speak the language. And luckily I found like a gas station where there was a guy who had the whole setup and he did fix a tire for me. But like, hey, look, risk, reward. You know, and the reward was I got to see Mount Olympus. I figured it out. I got the tire changed. I drove to my Airbnb. I figured it out. I'm trying to live a good life where I have no regrets. So if I'm scared, I'm gonna jump. You know, I'm gonna jump nonetheless because I want to live a good life, and that's why I love traveling for work because I'm gonna use it to my advantage. You know. Yeah.
I don't know if you believe in God or even if you don't, like, I personally believe in that there's like everything happens for a reason at least. So
absolutely, you know, whether you believe in God, whether you believe in your universe, I think there is a tide that pushes you in the direction you're supposed to go, and I'm someone who I don't try to swim against it. I'm someone who's like, you know what, the tide seems to be pushing me this way. I'll swim towards the way it wants me to go. You know? I just want to have a good life. It's a hard life in general, and I can't let fear take away my ability to enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So 2020, the end of 2024, start of 2025 was a great year for you. You were
I had
saying,
like
right?
6 different projects. You know, I got to film 3 movies, 2 TV shows, a commercial. It's great. You know, it was a really good year, and I'm very proud of it. But even still, then, now after I come back from Paris, I'm like, when's the next job? And then you start
Right.
getting feelings, you start getting into your head, like, am I good enough? I'm like, dude, I just filmed a movie with Al Pacino. Like, don't be so hard on yourself. Like, be willing to take a moment, love yourself, and trust something is going to come up again, because it has. You know.
Also, like you said, like the industry is in such a weird spot, and like I've heard that there's rumblings. I'm not even in the union, so what do I know? But I've heard that like because of AI, the SAG-AFTRA might be going on strike once more. Or am I inventing this? I don't know.
I don't know. It's very possible, because I believe our
Yeah.
contract does end soon. The strike happened 2023, and I do believe the contract was for 2 years or 3 years.
Yeah,
So
I've heard
if we
something like
want to strike again, it's very possible. But I will say this: AI is so scary right now. Like, I've seen the recent developments, like recent ones, and they're incredible.
Have you
They
seen
look so
Tom
cool.
Cruise fight Brad Pitt on the
It was like,
rooftop?
it made the acting choices that Tom Cruise made.
Yeah.
I was blown away by it. And you know what? I saw one of animation, and it looked incredible. And here's the dilemma that I'm under.
Mm.
I don't know if we're ever going to be able to stop it, because it's gotten too far, unless it becomes like more of a legal thing. Legally, and you know what? I almost think AI videos and be able to make them should be illegal, because now people are going to start presenting certain cases with videos, and this is video proof that this person robbed me or whatever. But it's like AI, and we wouldn't be able to tell the
Yeah.
difference. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's become such a dangerous thing, not just for actors and everything. But it's funny. Have you seen the movie No Other Choice?
I've heard of it. It's new, right?
It's out in theaters right now. Or
Oh, the Asian one about like the actor. Oh wait, there's this guy from The Whale there, right?
The Whale?
What's
He's from Squid Game.
Oh yeah, no, I think I have it on my list to go to the
It is
cinema
so
to watch it.
But it tackles literally kind of. It doesn't really like push in your face, but basically, essentially, this is what happens. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but the premise of the movie is this: in Korea, there's like the job market is so small. This guy, he has a career in like working with paper companies, you know, that make paper and sell paper and stuff like that, and the company has a factory that used to have a bunch of people using and working in the factory. But now, with AI robots, the machines are doing all the work, and all they need is to hire one person to just supervise the machines. So it used to be a factory full of human beings working, but now it's just machines and one person. So the job is literally one person. And it kind of is a mirror to what's happening in life and careers with AI, is that AI is replacing a lot of jobs and a lot of people opportunities and stuff like that. And in this movie, the joke is, and you'll see this in the trailer, the joke is he's trying to take out his competition to the point of like murder. It's a dark comedy. So he finds out the other types of people in the city who have any similar job credentials, and he tries to take them out. So that
Oh
way-
right, yeah, I read the plot part.
premise. So that way, if he applies for the job, he's like the only choice, no other choice.
Right.
He's the only choice, and it's like it's really sad, because I watched that and it was less of an unbelievable thing and more of a this could happen, because
Oh, definitely.
like they're limiting so much for people who are in the working class because of AI taking over. And I don't know, it's just weird. But there's also this. Imagine you're a comedy writer who writes TV shows like Family Guy, right? Like comedy. But you don't have the money. to get an animator to animate your pilot, and then you use AI, and AI animates it perfectly. It looks great, and it's flawless. And now you and your friends can voice over the roles that you wrote, and now you have a whole show without having to pay much.
I've heard that that's like a big plus. Like, for example, now I could create a whole, well, not the script, because I would like to write the script, but like things that I don't know
how to do,
right? And I don't have the money maybe to.
Not even necessarily things you don't know how to do, but like things that people haven't given you the chance. Because here we are, all these people who are starting to get our business going, and we're like, hey, I wrote this. Will you give me an opportunity? Will you read my script? And they don't. Or if they do, they're like, yeah, I can't fund this. I'm not going to give you money for this. They don't give us a chance. And now there's an opportunity for you to make it yourself without having to wait for it. It's tricky because, like, it could benefit people, but it also makes so many other jobs get lost. It's a really terrible situation.
Yeah, because I agree. Like for example, like an animator. I don't know how to animate like for a cartoon or something. I have no idea. Like, it sounds so complicated.
You know,
or right?
You don't have the money to even pay an animator.
Exactly. So, but I know how to voice act. I know how to write a script. I can do the other stuff and then post it on YouTube, and it probably gets more views than something that it's on like mainstream.
And your career could take off from it.
Yeah.
You know?
Has been a lot of shows, like there's this like animated show called Has Been Hotel that started like as a passion project in YouTube, I think. There's this like, there's other types of shows, and now they're big like streaming shows.
Yeah, because they've made a product, and then eventually someone saw it and was like, all right, we're gonna give you money now because you're famous now.
Right.
And if you're not famous, and no one's giving you money, how can you make the things that you're passionate about? And that's where, unfortunately, AI is helpful, but it's also so dangerous because a lot of other people are losing jobs, like animators and stuff. So it's a really tricky situation, and I think the only way that the strike would happen is, I don't know, it's very possible. There might be another strike, but I don't know if we're going to get everything we're going to be asking for, you know, unless it becomes like a legal situation in the United States or in the world, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, and also there's so much loss that comes by a strike. Like, because I worked last year, I had the opportunity to work a lot of background stuff. Like, that's the main thing that I had income coming from that. Because, like, what else? And I met a lot of people who did background as like I don't know how they did background as like a main thing for and have been doing it for like 25 years or something.
Yeah.
And they told me how, like, those years that the strike was happening, like, there was no work. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there, but I mean, I was here, but I was studying. But
you were working in the industry at the time,
right?
I was lucky enough that during that time, during the strike, I could audition for TV or film. There was no audition for TV and film, but luckily I booked 3 national commercials. So that because commercials weren't on strike, it was TV and film and all that stuff. So I was lucky, but what if the next strike happens and I don't book any commercials? You know, it's like, it's tough. The strike is helpful, but also sometimes hard because
damaging. It's like
a lot of people become unemployed.
Yeah, it's like hitting your hand. Like, it hurts, and you're probably gonna have to, or dislocating your shoulder, you're probably gonna have to put something in, but the damage is gonna be, I don't know, maybe ignore the analogy. It doesn't.
No, I get what you mean. Like, you could always pop your shoulder back, but it's always gonna be delicate. Like, it's always gonna be
okay.
You know, and that's the truth. Like, I think I'm not gonna lie to you. I think CEOs, the executives, I think they're punishing us for the strike we did last.
Oh,
because
that
way when it comes to casting. Because if you hear almost any agent, they're all saying it's really hard to get an audition. That's what they're all saying. They're saying it's really hard because when I first graduated, I was getting auditions left and right. It was easy for me to get auditions.
Yeah.
That's because I had no experience under my resume.
Wow,
And I
yeah.
was able to go and then COVID happened, and then it went a little less. It was like because now they were doing shows with smaller casts because they didn't want to have to be people with masks everywhere, you know. And then the strike happened, and now more TV shows have less episodes per season. There's like 8 episodes per season now, where there used to be 20 episodes per season, you know. And they have smaller casts, and on top of that, I'm a member of. I'm not just a member of Union of SAG-AFTRA. I'm also a member of the Television Academy, which means I'm able to vote for the Emmys and stuff like that. And so that's part of my duty is I have to watch everything that's nominated. And I did that for the Golden Globes. I watched every single thing that was nominated for the Golden Globes, and then for the Emmys as well. And I watched every show that's in the comedy category or drama category. The same guest stars and co-stars, not the series regulars, obviously, because they're busy filming as a series regular, but the same guest stars and co-stars were all in the other shows. I was like, I'm seeing the same actors. They're like recycling the same actors, where usually we would see some new up-and-coming actors have the guest star and co-star roles. And it's like I feel like it does feel a little bit like they're punishing us for the strike. Because it got.
And why do you think they were reusing actors then so much?
Not as much. They were.
No, but then why do you think that it was that they were reusing like?
Right now?
No. When you saw that, like during the strike.
That's now. I'm saying.
Oh, that's now.
Yeah, I'm seeing the same actors in all the other shows. You know the actor Richard Kind? There's an actor, his name is Richard Kind. He's in Only Murders in the Building. He's in Poker Face. He was like literally in all of them. And there was other actors. That was just one example that are literally floating around the same actors in all the shows. And it's just like I realized, whoa, they're just recycling them. They're just reusing the same actors.
Yeah.
And all the
but why
shows.
is that? I don't.
Because one, they know that they do good. You know. Two, it's just I don't know, easier. I don't know what it is. On top of that, actors are working more. Actors are accepting more. You know, back in the day, actors didn't have to do that because everything was on cable network, and if they were on one TV show, they would get residuals a lot. But now, if you're on Netflix, you just get paid for that one thing, and you don't get residuals. You know what I'm saying?
Also,
that's the dilemma. Is
that's why I've heard so much that the industry has shrunk, and like the same amount of people get jobs and work, and then there's so much people that don't get anything.
And it's become a problem, you know, because I see that and I'm like, interesting, you know, like, why are the famous actors taking so many jobs, even for commercials? You know, like Keegan-Michael Key, he's been working in so many of things, but he's currently in like 3 commercials for different brands. Like, why are you working so hard to do commercials? And one, yes, greed, but 2, because the other jobs he's taking are all streaming and he's not getting residuals for them like back in the day. That's why actors didn't do a ton of commercials back in the day. That's why actors could just do like a couple jobs here and then. They weren't thirsty to keep doing more and more jobs and taking more and more jobs. Because now they're not making as much money as they used to. So they have to.
So streaming don't get any residual streaming? No. Not even a little bit.
I get paid for the filming job when I'm on all of them. I'm on the HBO Max. I'm on Netflix. I'm on Hulu. I'm on every single.
You're on Peacock.
Yeah, and I get residuals for like international things maybe. So like I still get some residuals from Suits, but that was a cable network show.
And they're still playing it. Like for example, when I went to the beach, like I came back a week ago, they had like they had like DirecTV and they had like different channels that aren't regularly here, but they were playing it here. and they were playing Suits. There was a channel that was playing Suits like the entire day, 24/7, and I was like waiting. I was like, hopefully it's because I watched Suits like a long time ago. I don't remember which episode you were on. I was like, hopefully. I didn't remember the story or anything. I was like, hopefully, Esteban comes up on the show, and it's like so like trippy. I don't know, but you didn't come up.
That's happened before, actually. A friend of mine texted me like, I walked into my roommate's room and they were watching this show, and you just popped up on the episode.
Yeah.
So it's happened before.
But what I mean is that like here in Chile they were playing Suits on the national kind of like network
so
TV.
I get some residuals from like those things.
Yeah.
But not from like Never Have I Ever, which was on Netflix.
Right.
Not from like Saved by the Bell, which was on Peacock. You know what I mean? Like sometimes
Damn.
there might be some national fees, but yeah, no, it's you know what's weird though? The thing that's weird to me is this. Streaming services used to not have commercials. So I understood that they didn't have the money to pay residuals. But now every single streaming service has commercials. Even Netflix. Like Netflix, if you pay for the cheapest price, there's commercials. So it's weird to me that cable could afford to pay their actors residuals every time the episode aired because brands, Target, Walmart, whatever it may be, would pay the network to play their commercials. And now they're doing the same thing with the residual for streaming, where they're making a lot of money. They're making a lot of money because we're all paying for our subscriptions.
For 5 subscriptions, right? Yeah.
I get an email every other month. We're raising the price. Great.
Yeah.
And on top of that, there's commercials now for like everything. Every single streaming service has commercials. So
I think I have Disney Plus on like $22 a month for no commercials.
And then at that point, they're getting extra money, But
$22 a month is crazy.
It's weird to me that they don't have a system in which they could pay us now, residual wise, or like how like YouTube you get paid off of a certain amount of views. It could be. I get that we can't do residuals because anyone can watch any show at any moment. Where in cable, it would just be like every time the episode aired,
right?
You get paid for it. But YouTube, you get paid based off views. So if there was a way to make that happen, like based off views, because when Suits was on Netflix, it was blowing up, and it was a stream show, but I didn't get any of that money based off of views, So
that might be a good like concession because is that the word? I don't know. Because there's so many shows that are like terrible and and no one watches like they release the numbers like there's so many websites that show like the streaming data and stuff like that, and so many new, because that's another weird thing, like there's so much stuff coming out and yet the industry is so shrinked and like short and small. But yeah, like
less episodes every season. There's 8 episodes now instead of like 15 or 20. And on top of that, smaller casts. You know the show Lost?
Yeah. No, yeah, that was like how many episodes?
I don't think we'll ever have a show like that again because it had such a huge ensemble of actors in every episode.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever have a show like that again because they try to keep the ensemble, the main cast, small. Now.
What do you think is the future for Hollywood?
I don't know. I try to stay optimistic.
Yeah.
I think I see people are tired of the way things are going, and they're tired of the decisions that the CEOs and executives are making. But I still feel like they keep ignoring the executives. They keep ignoring us. They keep ignoring the audience.
The audience, yeah.
There might be a change. I'm open to it. I'm hopeful for it. Because this is a career that feels like it's becoming more and more limited, and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, because I feel like so many like you said, like the industry will never be the same. Hollywood feels like, I mean, there's a fire in Hollywood every year, literally.
Yeah.
And I feel like people don't watch films like they used to either, and cinemas are also struggling. So I don't know. It's very decisive point, like I always say.
Yeah, and I think people are slowly coming back to the theater. Especially with like subscriptions like AMC A-List. It's such a great idea because it kind of makes people feel like, oh, if I just watch 2 movies a month, I've already made back the money I spent monthly on this. So I love movies. I love the cinema. And there's a lot of people I know who are the same way that aren't even actors. So I think there's enough people that are keeping this alive. It's just like people who are.
But
really
is it enough though? Because every time I used to go to the cinemas in here or in the US, like it was so empty.
Really?
Yeah, at least the times that I went, which were like noon.
Well, who goes to see a movie at noon?
Because the discounts, the AMC 10% discounts at noon.
But no one goes during the day. People are at work.
Right, that's true. I had no work, so maybe that's why.
No, usually I go. It's pretty filled up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hopeful that cinema is gonna do okay because I think people realize I love watching movies in the theater. I think so.
Yeah, true. I gave myself the New Year's resolution to watch to go to the cinema here like much more than I used to, which was almost nada. Yeah. And I've actually watched like 3 movies since I arrived, which is not as often as I've liked, but I've noticed like I used to watch it in like my little screen, like in my computer, and the difference is astronomical.
Yes, I agree. Because you might get more distracted. You might pull out your phone.
Yeah, and one forgets about it. Like like during COVID, like probably like everyone like got used to watching stuff on their phone or.
Exactly.
Or in their
I'm not a fan of that at all. I actually watched the Stranger Things finale in theaters.
Oh, Peter did too.
Oh, you did? I think I liked it.
I don't know.
A lot of people hated it, but I liked it.
I haven't watched it yet.
I liked it in the theater.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you watch anything in the theater, it's better. If I watched it on my phone, the movie, I wouldn't like the movie as much.
But yeah, it's a different. It's like going to the theater, like at the actual theater stage. Like you don't watch Hamilton on Disney Plus, the video.
Yeah,
who watches that? I don't know why they did it.
Actually, I did watch it because I never watched it on Broadway.
Yeah, well, for those people, right. But if you have the option,
I would watch it live, absolutely. But
yeah.
I think my thing is this. I think we get distracted easily on our phones, and you don't really pull out your phone much when you're in a movie theater. And I love that. I love 2 hours of getting away from my phone to watch a story in high definition and good pixel whatever and sound and comfy chair.
Surrounding sound, XD, 3D, 3XD.
I love Dolby Theater. I go there at AOC. So like. It's important to me. I love that stuff, and I always will.
Yeah, that's amazing. I have one question because without even reading my notes, we've covered like a lot of stuff that I wanted to ask you about. So that worked great. I did want to ask you about because. Okay, let me preface this by saying that when I came here in Chile, there's almost no Chilean movie industry, cinema. Like, there's not that much. How is it in Colombia? Like, would you ever go back to Colombia and do something, or is it only soap operas like here?
I have a buddy of mine, Christian. He's Mexican, but he's been able to film all over.
Christian is the guy that you invited. You invited him. Yeah.
He's been working nonstop ever since I brought him into class.
Right.
He booked like a role that was like in several episodes in a show that is on Netflix, but they film it in Mexico. So he was there for a while, and in Colombia, he recently filmed another show where he was in Colombia for like a month or two, filming that show out there. Surprisingly, so there are some things that film in Colombia, but I don't know if it'd be stuff that I would get cast in. I speak Spanish, I understand Spanish, but I still have like a bit of an accent because when I moved to America, Spanish was my first language. But my kindergarten teacher, told my parents that I was behind on reading, so she literally told my parents to stop talking to me in Spanish and only in English. So for a long period of my life, I didn't speak Spanish.
Wow.
And I had to get it. Like I always understood it. Like I always understood every conversation my family had. But when it came to the grammar of me speaking it naturally, I lost a bit of it. I lost the accent. Even though I have a little bit of an accent speaking in English, I have an accent speaking in Spanish too. So it's like I don't really feel like I have my own tongue. You know, like I guess it is that. It's my own
Yeah,
tongue.
it's your own unique one in a million.
One in a million? Yeah,
One in ever. One in all any.
Yeah, it's one of a kind.
Unique.
It's true. You know, it's very unique. And that's something I struggle with because my name is Esteban, and I have auditioned for Latino roles I was perfect for, but I didn't get. But I've also auditioned for Latino roles I'm like, this isn't right for me. This is someone who's perfectly fluent, who was born and raised in this place. You know, like I could play like Latinos who are like speak both English and Spanish.
Like your situation in particular.
Sometimes, yeah, or just people who were born in America but their family spoke Spanish with them, you know?
Right.
So I could do those roles, but the ones who are like authentically born somewhere else, I'm not as skilled at. I would have to work with like a dialect coach, you know? But it's also tough because, man, it's really tough. I feel sometimes as though for Latinos, I'm not Latino enough. For white people, I'm not white enough. I'm like, you know, it's always been that. Like I even grew up in South Florida. I was like surprised.
You're edging.
Yeah, edging. What? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm in the middle.
You're in between, in the edge.
And it's tough because I feel so proud to be Latino. And I have the culture in my heart, even though I don't speak it all the time perfectly, even though I don't look it. Like I'm a light-skinned Latino, you know. Like it's funny. There's a show called Wonder Man that just came out on.
Oh yeah, I was just because I yeah, that's so crazy that you bring it up because one of the things that came out of me living in the US, I know two like kind of YouTubers, podcasters, kind of, and I edit their videos and they do like entertainment news.
Oh,
they
cool.
they help me keep like how do you say like in tune with what's going on because she was just talking like one of them how Wonder Man. I actually want to watch it because it's about like acting Hollywood about kind of like right.
It's actually it's probably one of Marvel's best TV shows. It's very unique, very stylistic. But there's a role I auditioned for it, and there's a role I auditioned for, and when I auditioned for him, the name was Emilio, right? And they said Latino, you know, this kind of guy, and it was a Latino who kind of like it made it seem like he was making drugs, but he was just making chamoy. He was making candy, you know. That was the bit of it. And the main characters come and visit him and ask him questions and stuff, you know. And I auditioned for this. I did a callback for this audition.
Oh wow!
And I didn't book it, and I watched you book it. And it was a guy with like a shaved head, tan skin. He looked a little bit like Vato, you know. Like that's the thing is that.
A little bit like who?
Like a Vato, you know, like
a drug dealer.
Like a cholo, you know.
I don't know. I don't know what.
I guess yeah. Chilean Latino is very different than Mexican Latino, but
yeah. So like a duck.
Like a duck.
Because you said a pato.
No, not pato. Vato. Vato is kind of like a Mexican drug member. Like,
okay. Like a cartel member.
Yeah, almost like Los Angeles cartel, not like Mexico cartel. You know.
Okay.
They cast someone with like
Pachuco.
the shaved head, the tattoos, the tanner skin. You know, who looks
Okay.
more like what Hollywood believes all Latinos look like. It's funny, Hollywood, when they think Latino, they think Mexican only. But there's like Chilean, there's Colombian, like we're all over the place. There's Puerto Rican, you know. But for some reason, Hollywood has a one-track mind of what Latinos look like, and that's really
Yeah.
hard because
Not only
I don't-
Hollywood, like a lot of people who say they're so progressive, they have like a very small-minded view of how a Latino can be.
everyone knew I was Latino growing up, but they called me Mexican. I'm like, I'm not Mexican. They just assumed I was Mexican because I was Latino. And there's so many different cultures when it comes to Latino, but they don't. Some people just don't realize that. Thank you to Proud Bunny I'm proud and thankful to Bad Bunny for demonstrating that. You know, but
Did you like the show?
I did, but here's the crazy part. So that guy, they had me call back for the role. I did it. I feel like it was a good
Oh,
audition.
okay.
But they cast someone who looks more like what Hollywood thinks Latinos always look like. And get this, dude. I don't know what the deal is, because when I auditioned for the role's name was Emilio.
All right.
Oh, they changed it to Esteban. After I got to call back and audition for it.
What?
I was like, did they just use my name because they like
Yeah. Copyright.
I was like, his name was Emilio. Why did you change it to Esteban
Yeah.
after I auditioned for it? It was like, like, what the hell?
They took inspiration.
Yeah, you took my name, bro, and you didn't even
Yeah.
cast me as the role. But like, that's the thing. Is like, that's the tricky part. I don't think I can have a good career in Colombia because I don't sound like my accent. Surprisingly, my accent's more towards like Mexican when I speak Spanish. I think it's because I used to work in the back of kitchens and stuff at restaurants in California, and that's how I would speak. So I think my accent leans more Mexican than Colombian. So I don't sound Colombian. So I would sound very differently in Spanish in all the production companies in Colombia. And on top of that,
So they cared, because I feel like if I spoke with an weird accent here, like they wouldn't care. They would say, and whatever, I'm famous for some reason, they would say, okay, cast him anyway, because they don't. There's not much culture here. I feel like for art.
yeah, for like a diversity of it, you know, and but that's it's also the same thing in America. It's like I'm very limited to which type of Latino I could play out here in America, and it sucks because I feel very proud to be Latino, but America sees Latinos in a very limited box, you know.
Right. So, because when you've auditioned and you've done a lot of like non-Latino roles, so you're saying like the thing that maybe gets you is the accent, right? Then, because you could, you're like what they say, like what they call, which I don't like the term, but like white passing or whatever.
Yeah,
Like Pedro Pascal.
I'm very light skinned, you know. Even Louis Litt, he's a white guy, you know. He's Jewish.
Right. So yeah.
But it's not necessarily, to me. I don't think it's the accent, because I think I know how to do like a Los Angeles Mexican accent. I know how to put like those types of things. It's more like fluent. If it was someone who's fluent and born in a certain country, that might be tricky. But it's more this. I think it's more I just don't look like what Hollywood pictures a Latino to look like. You know?
So yeah, but you could. I don't know. Yeah, you're right.
You're saying this because you know what Latinos look like.
Yeah.
You know?
But also you could.
I look
But if you-
Colombian. There's a lot of
yeah.
Colombians that look like me. But
But if you don't
Hollywood-
look Latino, then what do you look like
dude, I don't know.
to them?
I don't know.
To them, I don't know, because they must put you in some box. They love boxes. They love categorizing people.
I think that's
So
the
they
tricky
must.
part. That's the
Yeah.
tricky part with me, is that I'm a character actor. You know, the way I see myself now, in the age I am now, because I'm no longer playing like the young high school roles anymore. The feel that I see myself now is more character role, like when Paul Giamatti was young, when Philip Seymour Hoffman was young. You know, there's a lot of character actors who transformed a lot, and that's the thing, is that I do that. I transform. You know, you want to shave my head, I'll shave my head. You want me to have a certain accent, I'll have a certain accent. You want me to present myself a certain way, I'll do it. And I have. In fact, I have 3 movies coming out, and another TV show. They're all different characters. They're very different. The way they
That's
talk.
good.
You know, and I like that too. Like, but that's my job as an actor. I'm a character actor. I transform. I change a lot. You know, when I did Suits, that wasn't me. I don't talk like that. I had to transform into a younger version of Louis Litt, who had all these mannerisms, and like, you know, the way he talked, and like I would have to figure out what his mannerisms were, and I would play that.
And your accent was way different.
Exactly.
Like I was watching to put the intro video today, and I was like, "That's not the Esteban I know, is it? Like, is that his twin?"
Well, you're gonna be really surprised with the projects that come out, because I definitely sound different in those ones. But it's just like, that's me, and that's kind of tough right now. Because can you think of any character actors around my age range right now, and that you see in all the TV shows and movies?
They're usually older.
But they used to not be. They used to be like late 20s and 30-year-old. Philip Seymour Hoffman, he was younger, you know? Philip Seymour Hoffman did the role of Capote, which won him an Oscar, around like 33 years old. You know, like, they used to have a lot more character roles younger.
Yeah.
Now it's like those character actors became old, and that's it. That's all the ones left. Now it's like the character actors are also people who could play the lead. Like Jacob Elordi was Frankie the Monster.
Frankenstein. Yeah. The
Joseph
monster.
Joseph Quinn, who was in Stranger Things, and now he's the Human Torch, but he's also playing that crazy guy in the Gladiator movie, the Gladiator 2. So, like, the character actors now, it's weird. Even Glenn Powell. Glenn Powell he looks like a leading man, but he plays all these very character roles, so it's weird. It feels, I talked to another agent about this, or manager about this, and he's like, that role doesn't exist as much as they used to anymore, my role, unfortunately, which is why it's so difficult to cast me, I feel, these days.
Why could that be? I wonder. Like, do they feel like, I think I know why, but I don't, like, it sounds like hard truth. Like, I feel like, I don't know, what do you think? Or do you want to hear what my
I'm interested in it. I'm open to hearing, for sure.
I think I think Hollywood might be like, I don't know, because it's weird, because I feel like Hollywood lately is so open in showing like diversity, all this stuff, but also like, but then you who are a very unique person have struggles in that field. So my theory is that it's like fake virtue. Kind of like they don't want to see like an unconventional character on screen, but they say they do.
They say it. Yeah,
right.
I completely agree with you.
Something that I feel like it used to be the other way around, like 10 years ago plus, or not 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago plus.
Yeah.
Like it used to be like more like people would just create a role based on like what they need the character to be, and then they didn't worry so much about like quotas and stuff.
No, but you have a good point. There is like a pressure for some kind of quota, for certain diversity and stuff like that as well. Which is, you know what, I'm very happy that there are more opportunities for diversity, but it does sometimes becomes, it feels almost, what's the word? It feels
like virtue signaling.
Sometimes it feels inauthentic. It's like, we need this type of person, but does that really fit that character? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, because that's what I mean. Like if diversity, like true diversity, like then they would cast you, like, you know, like they would cast everyone, right? I don't know.
Yeah, but
Because
that's the thing.
like
What does Hollywood want?
yeah, I don't know. It's confusing. What do you think? Maybe I'm not. I should just listen more
I don't
and
know.
not give my thoughts.
No, you can absolutely give your thoughts because I have a phrase I've been saying since I was in high school. There was a teacher who used to always tell me, "Hey, Esteban, you need to think before you speak." I'm like, "No, I don't." The reason why is because I speak to discover. So sometimes I need to talk it out for me to understand something. So I'll never
True,
make
but in a podcast, I feel like it doesn't come out because I was listening to the last episode, the one I did in person, the last one I did in person, and I said, "Shut up, Aldo. Let your guests speak." Because I was speaking too much for my liking, and I was not making coherent thoughts either. So
Who cares about coherent? This is more authentic. We're human beings. We're not supposed to be the most polished human beings ever. You know, like I'm not perfect. There's things I haven't said perfectly here. You know what I mean? It's also like, there. Yeah. So I don't think there's anything wrong with speaking to discover. I think it's. I think if you have to realize, am I even getting to a point right now, or am I just lost? You know?
I
And
think I'm
that's
lost. I'm lost right now.
That's okay to say out loud because we're not experts in everything. You know?
Yeah, it's a tough subject also because we don't know what's going on. Like we don't know what goes inside a CEO's mind. That should be a title for a show.
I mean, look, I'll tell you this too.
Yeah.
I've had trouble figuring out exactly what my type is because you know it's interesting. I don't want to like shame anyone at all, but there's a pattern I realized. Like, here's the thing: I'm a plus size actor. I'm plus size. I'm not skinny. I know this, so that also like limits some roles here and then. I don't always get roles that say they have to be overweight. Luckily, I've booked things that don't say that I'm overweight. Luckily, I just booked it, you know. But like when I have gone in for those auditions where they want someone who's overweight as a man, I'll go to the audition and it's weird. Like there's this interesting stereotype I see where it's like there are certain people who don't take care of themselves. Like maybe it's their fashion. I've literally seen people with like food still on their mouth before, and they didn't know that it was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like I'm someone who yes I'm plus size, I'm overweight, but I take care of myself. I have a certain fashion. I feel like I clean up good. You know. And I've had to go into auditions where like there's a stereotype of like a big role, like a big chubby guy, and I don't know how to play that because I feel like I take good care of myself.
Yeah, you don't feel that way. Yeah.
And I have seen some plus size actors who that's like their vibe. They're like guys.
That's their whole personality.
I think it's just natural that way. Like some of them, you know, and that's why I have trouble going against because I'm like. Unless I literally put on the whole character, these guys are the real deal of what Hollywood thinks an overweight person is. You know what I'm saying? Like, which is so like.
No, but that makes sense. I mean, what you're saying.
I mean, look. The cool thing is this: the movie I booked in Bulgaria, the character is supposed to be overweight, right? But originally, the way they wrote it was, this guy was like, I've auditioned for roles where like it says he has a hard time getting up on a bike and pedaling a bike. I have no issues getting on a bike and pedal. I'm very athletic for an oversized person. And so that doesn't feel authentic to me. So when I audition for those, I'm like, how does this work? The role that I booked in Bulgaria that I filmed for 6 weeks was one of the main characters. So I had a little more say to it. But they literally wrote scenes where like they're doing runs, like laps, and my guy's like, like he's exhausted and stuff like that, or like he was just always like stuffing food down his mouth. And I talked to the director, I was like, look, that's cool and all, but that's not who I am. And the way I changed it was, I don't like to spend or waste energy unless it's something I feel like it's important. So when they're making us run laps, I'm just putting my hands in my pocket and I'm walking it. And I'm putting my middle finger up to them and saying, fuck you, I'm not going to walk. I'm not going to run. I don't feel like running. It's not because I'm not capable of running. It's I don't want to waste my time running. So that's how I've alternated certain roles. Because to me, not everyone who's overweight is like, you know what I mean? Like that's not true. That's not truth. There are so many overweight people who are also very athletic, probably more athletic than some of the really skinny people, and that's the diversity I'm bringing to the table. You know, I'm not going to play some kind of stereotype of like a fat person of what Hollywood still writes. I'm going to see the script. I'll be like, this doesn't make sense for my character. How about it's like this? Maybe I'm not running because I don't want to run, not because I can't run. You know, and that's why I think it's important is that I'm making my voice be told. I'm Esteban. I'm not the stereotype that you're trying to cast me as. And that's what I'll always do and I'll always fight for. You know?
Yeah. I get what you feel like, because I feel like I've never had the right words. I mean, the right thoughts to put it into words. Or I have the thoughts, but I don't know the words to say it. Because it's true, because like sometimes I feel like, for me, like figuring my typecast, it feels like so hard because I feel different than maybe how I look.
Yeah, me too.
So I get what you mean. Like for example,
I want to get more tattoos, but I'm like, do I give the vibe of a tattoo guy?
Yeah.
Do I change my whole presence because I like tattoos?
Right.
You know, it's
For
tricky.
me, I like sometimes I feel tall and then I realize that I'm not that tall as I thought. And then I'm like, oh, maybe I'm like I have like oh, I have to second, how do you say it? I have the have a second take, or I think that's the term.
Yes.
And then it's like so many roles are like, okay, short means something for the character and then tall means something else. But then I don't feel short.
Never.
So
Never felt short until I moved to Los Angeles. When everyone told me I was short, I was like, I'm short?
Really?
Yeah. You know,
Wow.
like in high school and stuff like that, and I feel like I have a certain confidence about myself that I don't feel like anyone is above me, you know?
Yeah.
And so I never looked at people who were tall like, whoa, you're tall, or like I never felt inferior to people who were tall. You know, I'm a 5'7" person who, like, I did football and I was a lineman and that didn't scare me. You know, like I didn't care that I was going up against people who were over 6 foot tall. So until I moved to Los Angeles, where people were telling you, "Oh, like, you're short," I'm like, "What?" I never felt short. Just like you said, I never felt short. And that's
So
the
it's
thing.
hard. Yeah.
And people try to put you in a box, just like Hollywood. People try to put you in a box, and that's not who I am. You know. So I think that's important. I think that's important for you. Like, I get why you say like you're struggling with trying to figure out your type. If you feel like, prove to them that like it doesn't have to be the way that they imagined it. Show them a version of a character that is more grounded, that has more texture and depth to it than just what they wrote on the page at first. And I think that's what they love. Writers love having an idea, but then being like, whoa, there's so many more
Tell me
layers.
more.
Yeah, they want to see more layers. If you're doing it, you know, prove them wrong.
Yeah. Although I had one improv teacher once said, like in New York, her name is Katie Hammond. I hope I have her one day on my podcast because she was really nice. But she said something like that also stuck with me. That like at first, when you're first starting, it's just like put yourself in a box, let them figure everything out, and then when you have the authority, and later you create like the authority to like adjust the box.
I agree with that 100%. I think I might have told your class what I did when I auditioned in front of all those agents and managers. When you are first trying to apply to an agent and manager, you need to just like make it so obvious what role you're gonna be cast as. So for me, I knew I was gonna play like raunchy comedies like Superbad and stuff like that when I first graduated, you know, and I knew that one of my heroes is John Belushi, who in Animal House was like this crazy partier like type of role in college and stuff. So I literally wore a sweater that just says college on it. I let them know, cast me as a crazy frat bro, you know, like I just made it very obvious at first. But now I've been doing this career for almost 9 years, and I feel like I've done a lot of really good and diverse and different roles, and I've proved to people that I can do that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, fuck the box.
Yeah.
At first, I made it very easy. I pitched, hey, sell me as this. But now I've grown a lot of depth, and I've proven that I've worked. And now I'm like, I don't care about your box. I'm an actor, and I'm gonna tell one of the best goddamn stories you're ever gonna tell if you cast me. You know, that's kind of where I'm at right now in my life. I don't like hearing boxes. I'm like, no, I can play a lot of things, and I feel like I've put in the years and the work and have proven people that I can. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Well, Esteban, I think that's a very good spot to end it in, right? I don't know. I think that's a good note to leave it at. Leave it at. I don't know. I haven't spoken English in a while.
In Chile for a little bit, so I'm guessing you're not speaking English as much as before, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, I wanted to ask you where people can find you if they want to follow you, if they want to follow your work.
Instagram is just my name, Esteban Dager, put together. Same with TikTok. I do stupid videos sometimes on TikTok. Don't think I'm gonna be a brand, because I'm not. Everything's gonna be different. One day
I'm gonna follow you. I don't follow you on TikTok, so I need to.
I'll follow you right back on TikTok. One day I'll be talking about Love Island. The next day I'll be dancing. It's weird. I'm all over the place when it comes to my TikTok, because I just post whatever I want to talk about or do. I'm not streaming right now. I'm taking a little break from it, but I will go back. So if you like watching streamers on Twitch, it's the same thing, Esteban Dager, put together. And then I think that's it. I don't know if that's it. There's nothing else. Don't add me on Facebook. I won't accept it.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. Any last thoughts that you wanna leave the audience with?
Yeah, man. I mean, well, first of all, I think this is so cool that you're doing this, Aldo. We went almost 2 hours, which is great. So sorry about
Yeah, no. Sorry, I apologize myself because I didn't even notice.
No, it's great. I had a great time. But I think it's so great you're doing this. There's so much about the industry that I could go on and on about and that we can talk about. But it's always changing. The industry is always changing. I think it's important. If you want to be in this industry, you got to make sure you're reading, you're staying up to date with it. Follow Deadline, follow Hollywood Access, follow all these pages, and just read, and stay up to date of what's happening and stay in the know of what's happening. It's a tough business, but it's a possible business. You know, if it wasn't, I wouldn't have worked any of the jobs that I've worked. We just talked about, like, Aldo, you say yourself, how do people cast you, right? Like, I'm not an obvious choice, but yet I still have booked, and it's possible. It's hard, but it's possible. And it takes dedication and hard work and strategy as well. You have to be smart about how you sell yourself, because I am a product of acting, you know? So, I think this is great. You're doing this yourself. Like, keep in the know and try to learn from as many people as you can, because my story is very different from all the other people's stories. And maybe there's some things that I've experienced that you could add to your life. And it's like, whoa. I wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for me hearing about that person's experience with this, you know? So thank you so much for having me. This is a blast.
Thank you, Esteban. And I hope to have you on maybe in a future episode where we catch up on everything.
We'll talk about whatever.
Yeah, amazing. Well, Thank you so much, everyone, for watching ActorCast, this new episode. We'll go live soon. We'll start doing the episodes live soon. I feel like I'm getting there. I'm getting ready. In any case, this will go live in a few days. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We'll see ya.